Hi guys, how are we? My name is Konsakija. This is Inspire YG. This is your first time popping in here. I want to welcome you and thank you so much for the guys out there who's always shown me support, either by watching these videos or commenting down below or popping on starting a chat on Instagram and Facebook or just asking a question. Every kind of interaction, I'm here for it and I enjoy it. And this space it's something that I appreciate so much, that it's actually free and it's out there, and we as human beings are born to socialize, are born to help each other, to work together, to network. So having a platform like this where you can meet, and not really meet, but interact with people from from all walks of life, without having that prior connection, just from this kind of platform, is just something that I don't take for granted. So thank you so much. If it's your first time here, a bit of introduction. Like I said, my name is Konsakijo. So I was an international student, came to Australia from Kenya, East Africa. Just dropped a bottle. And yeah, I came as an international student. I'm no longer a student, but I am still very passionate about international student journey, as that's the journey I went through for how many years? Well, 7 years. And I learned a lot, and there were so many opportunities afforded for me. And so I just thought that international student miss out sometimes because of the hassles and bustles of life of an international student. But there's so many opportunities that are there, it's just in between those hassles. So and I come on here at least once a week. I try, and I share those opportunities, I share those ideas, I share those there's so many ideas, there's so many options, choices that people have as international student. You're not just coming here to just study. There's just so many things you can venture into, but sometimes it's just lack of knowledge, and what you don't know is sometimes we don't know what we don't know. And that's why I come in here, or I come on here to share whenever I learn of a new thing, whenever I learn of an opportunity somebody can jump on, or a venture someone can try and dive in or just learn about. I come on here and I share those. So welcome. Today I thought I'd do a video. I had first and foremost to say thank you so much for the people who shared my previous video, the video that I did last on beyond recruitment for teachers, for New South Wales teachers. So beyond New South Wales, an initiative started by Department of Education, and obviously that they are having opportunities for interstate and international teachers. And so thank you so much for everybody who watched, everybody who shared with their loved ones, and best wishes for those of you who applied. So on to matters this week. So I just want to share a little bit of some changes that have happened. I do want to share some changes that have happened within the skilled nomination visa, the skilled nomination category, specifically New South Wales 190 visa. So for those who don't know much about that, that's what I want to dive in. I have done a previous video on that, and I'm gonna link it here for you to go back and watch it. So maybe it's better if you watch that before you watch this. And then I'll give you more information about what are some of the changes that have happened. So I will be with you shortly. Stick around. Might wonder why I am only talking about 190 New South Wales visa, but it's because that's where I'm based, and so it's just so hard to keep up with all the states. As you know, Australia is a continent, so it does have all these states which have different kind of guidelines and policies that govern their laws in every sector, including immigration. So it's just hard to keep up with every state. And so I normally sort of just specialize on New South Wales initiatives in New South Wales immigration matters, just because that's where I am and I can be able to sort of keep up with the changes. So the video that I did before, I was talking about the New South Wales, the immigration had changed, ways in which people, the whole system had changed. And so previously they had mentioned that you had, just going to be looking at my notes so that I don't miss anything. They had mentioned that that you needed, previously published point score. They had points score and work experience. They had said that you needed to have some type of increased points. In almost every sector had been affected by this, and also they needed work experience for you to actually apply for this specific 190 visa. However, for the skilled nominated visa 190, all those requirements were removed shortly after I did that video that I did. I'm gonna link it here. So they were removed due to increased availability of skilled independent visa subclass 189. So 189 is federal level one. So anybody in Australia can apply for 189. However, for the 190, they're sort of state-based and they're specific, and they have different requirements depending on the state you're at. So, and all this information, you can find it at the Department of Home Affairs website. So I'm going to put the website on the description box in case you want to learn more about this. I'll post it there. I'm just talking about the highlights based on what I had talked about in the previous video. So the responsibility for Australia's migration program is normally on the federal government, and they're responsible for allocation of available places across program streams and making decisions on visa applications. So the federal government does provide the New South Wales government a limited number of positions of its for its state and territory nominated skills, business innovation, and investor visa subclasses. So basically what they're trying to say is the states do not always make decisions on how many spots or how many people they are going to invite with a specific visa, because they get those guidelines from the federal government. And that could have been what happened when they made those changes, then shortly after they changed them. So I will talk about, so if you had watched that video, definitely I will encourage you to go to the description box for the website, for the immigration website, and just update yourself, because things have changed. Now they have changed for the better. However, not all the occupations are on there still, so it's good to have a look, because you might be waiting for an invitation while your occupation is no longer on the list. So it's good to keep yourself updated. Now today I wanted to talk about common reasons why applications are normally declined after being invited to apply. So you could actually do your course, and your course is in that list, which is called SOL list, so skilled occupation list. You get invited, which is obvious in and of itself a privilege, because not everybody gets invited. So you get invited, and after being invited, you are given, there's a stipulated period of time. So it's normally days that you are given to actually launch your visa, but you could go through this process and still your application could be declined. So these are some of the because I've had a couple of people ask me questions about the visa and how I got my permanent residency. I will do a different video talking about how I did that. However, on this specific one, I want to talk about why people apply and get invited, apply, but then their visas are declined. So there are 4 points that I got when I was doing this research, and I found that if so one of the reasons it can be declined, one of the reasons why your application, or you could be invited but then your application is declined, could be overclaimed skilled employment. I know I had mentioned this before, that one of the ways that people get points is by claiming or actually mentioning how many years of work experience you've got. However, if you do mention that you have more years of experience than you actually do, or than you can actually prove, that can actually get your application declined. So for example, the only years that you're allowed to claim is after the date you have been deemed skilled by your skills assessor. That means after the day you get your skill assessment, or after the date you have completed your qualifying study. And that qualifying study has to be connected with the visa you're applying. So let's assume, or with the reason why you're applying. Let's assume you're a chef. The past experience you're going to be documenting, or you're going to be uploading, will be that of a chef. So you cannot be applying for a visa like saying that you're a chef, but then you put but you have had experience as a nurse or as a teacher, and then you put those work experience. That will not work. So if you're going to say that you have 2 years of experience, those 2 years of experience have to happen after you've got your skill assessment or after you've finished your university. And so the documents that you're going to upload to prove that you have that work experience will be maybe your testimonial, your certificate of completion, or your skill assessment, or even both. Also, the other reason why your visa could be declined could be you do not meet the residency requirement. So you must be currently residing in New South Wales or offshore, that means overseas, and have done so for a minimum period of 6 months to be eligible for New South Wales nomination. So, however, if you really are applying for one of these visas, and maybe especially the 190, the nomination, the New South Wales subclass 190, you must have been within the country, within the state for the last 6 months, or at least for a minimum of six months. This is always different in every state, and so that's why I'm saying this video will be just focusing on New South Wales. The other reason why your application could be declined is because you could not provide evidence for all the claims you made in your expression of interest. So expression of interest, you make it through a website called Skill Select. I might put a link here. And so Skill Select, on the website, they've stated that it's an individual responsibility to ensure that you provide evidence for all the claims in your Skill Select expression of interest. So this includes claiming points for skilled employment before the date you are deemed skilled in your occupation. So if you are claiming that you got skilled employment, but you still haven't got your skill, you still haven't got your skilled assessed, then that could actually render you that could actually get your application declined. The other reason would be if you're claiming points for NATI. Now, for those who don't know what NATI is, it's an interpreter's qualification. You do get points for doing that particular exam. A better explanation of NATI exam would be credentialed community language. That's what it's called. So it's normally, I've done a very well detailed video on that particular examination, and what it is you sort of given different scenarios, and you translate English to your local language. So for myself, I did Swahili, and so I translated English to Swahili and vice versa, and that's sort of how you get 5 points. So if you pass, the cutoff mark is 66 points. If you pass, you do get 5 points towards your visa application. So claiming those points, claiming the CCL points, the credential community language points, when your qualification has expired. It does expire, I think from memory, it's normally after 3 years it expires. If you claim those points after it has expired, you could have your application declined. Now, the thing with Australia, it's very different from a lot of countries, because the thing with their government sectors or government departments, they're really very well connected and very well linked. So for example, Department of Immigration could be working very closely with like Department of Education or very closely with another department within just the government sector. So finding information is very easy. They probably don't even to find information about if you have to do, let's say for example, a medical test. You don't always have to take your results. They could literally key in a couple of keys and they will find your results from a different website. So I mean from a different department. So that connection that they do have and that linking of systems could actually doesn't render the department, doesn't make it have any gaps. It's literally very efficient. And so if your NATI exam has expired, you cannot cheat the system. Don't even try and count those points. So I would assume it's the same thing with the English test. They will find out if you've done PT, if you've done IELTS, they will find out if your results have expired. So it's better not to do the right thing just for your own sake. The other thing would be claiming professional year points when you're not eligible for your professional year must be in your nominated or closely related occupation, and you must have commenced within 4 years from the day you were invited to apply. So professional year, it's just very few people who are able to do professional who are able to claim their professional year points. And from memory, I know people who do accounting and business are able to do a professional year. It doesn't always apply for myself. I did social work. We didn't have professional year, so I couldn't do that exam, and I couldn't claim those points. So depending on the occupation, depending on the career path you're on, depending on the course that you're using or the occupation that you're using to actually apply for this particular visa, check whether you are qualified to do the professional year, because that's also extra added points. You also do get points for different other things. For example, studying in regional areas, you get more points for the duration of the duration you've studied. All these you get points for. Age, I've done a previous video, I will link it here, explaining how you actually claim those points or how you garner those points. And so just do your due diligence. Like I always say, you don't even need an agent sometimes to apply for your visa, unless your visa is really complicated. For example, you got different people who are tagged onto your visa application, and you feel like it's something that you cannot do on your own and you do need to seek agent's advice. You can. However, all the information is on the Department of Immigration website, and you can do it yourself. I do like to talk about things that have worked for me. Not to say that because they've worked for me, they'll work for you, or because they've worked for you, they work for me. However, I feel like sharing information is always helpful, because you never know, somebody else could be walking on the same journey that I'm walking. So if anything I say resonate, I would appreciate if you comment down below. Just let me know. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, share with your friends. I just wanted to share this common these common reasons why people's applications are declined after they've been invited, because I feel like it can be avoided. It's one of those things that it's probably us just not doing our due diligence or just not doing the right thing. So don't take a chance, just do the right thing. Do your due diligence, do your research. Comment down below if you're applying or if you're hoping to garner points to apply for the next round, and especially for New South Wales visa 190, or even the 189. The federal one has got more, they do have more vacancies, or more, they do have more spots. So I think you do have a chance there. I am always a person who believes in trying and not giving up, because it's in that trying, it's in that falling and getting up that you get your stability and you get the ball rolling. So please don't forget to subscribe, and thank you so much for popping in. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. Share this video to anybody who is about to apply for their visa, especially in New South Wales, so that they know what not to do when they get that invitation. Do the right thing, and I wish you the best wishes as you apply for your visa. Until the next one, bye.